Years of providing innovative financial solutions in Nigeria's financial market, FSDH continues to drive innovative offerings to customers. On this episode of Focus On, we'll look into what the financial institution is doing to remain relevant. I'm Akin Obakeye. FSDH Holding Company, a non-operating holding company that provides progressive financial services in Nigeria with subsidiaries covering merchant banking, asset management, pension, and capital, is known to provide innovative financial services by deepening its business lines. Its rich history spans 3 decades of providing financial solutions and creating value for shareholders and customers.
FSDH is used to being first in a number of things. So the idea of the merchant bank, of the discount house came from this group of individuals who then approached the regulators to say that there was a need for discount house services back then in 30 years. Subsequent to them being licensed, 4 other discount houses were then licensed. It's also interesting to note that about 20 years after that, FSDH also identified that the discount house opportunity was not as significant anymore, and there's a need to evolve. We then approached the CBN again to convert our license, and then they issued us with a merchant banking license. As a discount house, we also launched one of the first products which other discount houses and banks also started to use, which was called the Open OBB, which was the Open Buyback products for the industry. So we're used to doing a number of things, innovating, and also just improving on what we do on a regular basis. About 4 or 5 years ago, we also evolved into having a holding company structure. And then we saw that opportunity. Amongst all the merchant banks also, we were the first to evolve into a holdco, where a number of departments within the bank, the merchant bank, were then spun off to become full-time subsidiaries of the holding company. And like you rightly said, we have the FSDH Capital Markets, we have the FSDH Asset Management, we have PAL Pensions Fund Limited, and we also have a NewCo, which is involved in technology. So we have a culture of innovation, and we're constantly looking for areas of improvement. So process re-engineering, new products that we develop, and we co-develop these products with our customers. So we are coming into the market not with what we think our customers need, but what we have jointly co-created with our customers. And that just gives us an edge over competition, because we listen to our clients and we then develop products that will suit their specific needs. FSDH is known to be subject matter experts in each of our chosen areas. So if you look at our global markets, we have experts in treasury, we have experts in fixed income, we have experts in foreign currency trading. Look at our corporate banking team, we have experts in those areas. So our clients feel that they are having conversations with partners who understand their business and are able to provide solutions for them.
Reinvention is at the heart of what has brought FSDH this far. With the dynamic nature of Nigeria's financial ecosystem, the holding company has been able to sustain and build on its client base. The question is, what has made this possible?
The one thing I'll say it's consistently been able to do is to reinvent itself. It's to continue to evolve and to stay relevant to its clients. And it's been first and leader in certain areas from the early days when it used to do repo trades for FGN bonds, and then it became a discount house. It was a leader in that space. I think it was the first when the new banking regulations came out and merchant banks were newly licensed. I think it was perhaps the first merchant bank. So I think what FSDH has done is that continued evolution, being relevant. And what happened in 2019, when the group was reorganized into a holding company, out of which was birthed FSDH Capital, I think is a step towards probably thinking of what will the next 30 years look like and how does FSDH Group position. The past 2 years has been a period of change for the group. Sometimes very disruptive change internally because people have been used to working and doing things a certain way. And now you're having to think of a different world, a different behavior, a different way of doing things, and trying to reinvent or redefine the culture of the organization to fit the future. So, but at the heart of that still is that focus on how do we remain relevant to our clients' current and future needs. So if you look at all of the components of the group today, I think ultimately it's about saying, look, we need to be impactful because we're an aggregator of financial assets. Essentially, you've got the merchant bank, which manages money. You've got the pensions business, which manages money. You've got the asset management business, which also manages money. And then you've got FSDH Capital, which at the heart of it is an advisory business to say, okay, how can we define solutions to enable you achieve your objectives as a corporate or government organization? And alongside it, we've got capital pools that can help you realize that. And that hasn't changed. It's just a case of how do we better execute? And are we positioned to better execute? And do we have the right structure to get in the people we need to be able to execute well?
We have experienced quite everything in the market. I mean, as a financial service player, I mean, we play in the capital markets, we play in the money markets. When things are tough in global space and when things are locally, we also experience it. And the difference between us and maybe some other people who perhaps did not survive it is the fact that we have some resilience, we have sufficient capital, and we have professional staff members handling affairs. And then risk management is a significant portion of our business, and we try to ensure that we stay, afloat. When time we envisage challenges in the market, we take a defensive stance, and when there is plenty, so to speak, we also benefit from it. So you win some, you lose some, but mostly you want to remain strong. You want to remain agile. You want to be adaptable, as you had mentioned. Over the years, we have broken our services down into several units based on the customer needs. And I think some of the things we don't do is just take a risk on certain industries and then or certain services, financial services, and then find out that it's not something we should do. So we actually take time to study, and some people don't. They typically just make a move, and then sometimes they're lucky. And we're not that kind of company. Everywhere there is growth, there is a potential for us to plug in and benefit. So agri sector, we have played in the agri sector, in the commodity space, we have financed, we have invested, and healthcare sector is another area where we see that there's possibility. We have invested. Technology companies are, we have fintech among some of our clients who we have provided funding for. So typically, once we identify a growth sector within the economy, we plug in.
With these structures put in place, how does FSDH continually reposition to meet Nigeria's ever-changing financial landscape? And how do they create and implement their comprehensive digital management solutions that streamline processes internally and externally?
We deliberately put those structures to face the various areas of the market. And to tell you the truth, they have actually been, in their own areas, they are very, very successful. And as you speak to the CEOs of the various subsidiaries, they'll tell you some of the achievements they've done in their space. One of the things we in FSDH, as a group, one of the things we do, in the space we play in, we are top 5. So in each of their spaces, they'll tell you that they actually the top amongst the top 5 within their spaces. Now go back to the bank, and what have we done? As a merchant bank, where I sit as an executive director, we use, and you rightly pointed out at the beginning, we've used technology a whole lot to drive our business. One of the things we did a few years ago was to really recognize the impact of technology, reaching out to our customer base. I tell my customer-facing people that look at where FSDH is situated. Customers typically want to, from the comfort of their offices and homes, bank. When last does a corporate customer walk into the bank? So we're one of the first merchant banks that enabled internet banking, and that was even before COVID. And that was actually a forefront for us as a merchant bank, because during COVID, we're able to seamlessly do business with our customers without having our doors opened. And beyond that, we are also, even in our internal process, we have enabled technology. One of the things we've done, and we constantly preach, is a paperless office. Practically, all our approvals are done online. A lot of our meetings, you saw me in a meeting, are done virtually. So we are able to achieve a lot more as a business without necessarily going through the strains of traffic and all that. So we've used technology in our business processes and to serve our customers. What have we also done? A lot of the use of technology has also been in areas of integrating with our customers' businesses. So we're the first merchant bank to offer what we call APIs as a service to our customers, and that means integrating directly into your customer's value chain. So all the flows come through you from up. So while that was very important for us, for our corporate customers, it will help us do their collections. So you see us serving customers that people hitherto never expected us to serve. I don't want to say some of the customer names that we brought up because of confidentiality, but when you look at the names of FSDH, some of the people are surprised to see FSDH serving some of the customers they never expected. I mean, there was a recent customer that came into the country last year, an American company, and FSDH was the customer that came with them. So we've used technology for that. For us, we look at it as beyond physical. There are no boundaries. We don't necessarily regard ourselves as just a merchant bank. We regard ourselves as a bank, a place to serve clients. And we've used that in our approach to serving customers. And what we also realize is, even for the traditional banks that have used bricks and mortars, what they are seeing is a lot of them, for them, 80% of their branches are actually unprofitable. A lot of them are looking for how to downsize their physical branches and go use a lot of technology. So we do that. And for us, is because using technology is so key, we'll continue to explore opportunities around the use of technology. And just to say a few things, using technology, we're the first merchant bank that started collecting customs duty online, using technology for the Nigerian customs. After we did that, other people came on. We're the first merchant bank to collect NEST fees, and that's for the export provision scheme. So we're the first merchant bank to do tax collections using technology. So we've used it, and we'll continue to use it and deploy more of it going into the future.
Now, this brings us to the end of this episode of Focus On. Thank you for watching. Namaki Obakeye. Until next time, it's bye for now.